Don't you hate it? When you know that feeling, it's like your body's just not keeping up with you like it used to.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like our batteries are running low and we're searching for that recharge button.
Yes, exactly. And that's actually what got us thinking about this whole deep dive on NMN.
It's one of those things you see everywhere now, right?
Yeah.
All these supposed anti-aging benefits.
Everywhere. And it's like, is it hype? Is there real science there? So we're diving in, trying to separate fact from fiction.
Which is always a good idea, especially with anything that promises to turn back the clock.
Right. So we're starting with the basics. What is NMN? And what's this whole NAD connection you always hear about?
Okay, so NAD, it's like, imagine tiny little factories inside each of your cells working nonstop to keep you going.
Okay, I'm picturing it. Tiny factories, keeping my body running.
Right. And these factories, they need NAD to work. It's crucial for like everything, turning food into energy, repairing damage, you name it.
So NAD is like the fuel for these factories?
More like the spark plug. It helps kickstart the whole energy production process and keeps those factories humming.
Ah, okay, got it. Spark plugs. But if we're talking aging, I'm guessing there's a catch, right?
Sadly, our natural NAD levels, they decline as we get older.
So that feeling of our batteries draining, it's like our spark plugs are wearing out too.
Exactly. And that's where NMN comes into the picture, because our bodies can actually use it to make more of that NAD. Potentially, at least.
Okay, so that's the idea. Boosting those NAD levels. But does it really work? So that's the theory, but does it actually work? Can we really slow down aging just by taking NMN?
Well, there's definitely been some buzz, especially with all the animal studies going on.
Animal studies, like with mice?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's this one study they gave mice NMN, and it actually seemed to increase their NAD levels.
Okay, but mice aren't people, so...
Right, you've got to be careful making that jump. But the interesting thing is, the way it works in mice, those mechanisms, they're pretty similar to humans.
Ah, okay, so it's like a starting point at least. But what about research on actual people?
They're working on it. There are human trials happening right now, which is pretty exciting.
Really? So what are they finding?
It's early days, but some of the initial stuff suggests that, at the very least, NMN is safe for us to take,
Okay, that's good to know. Safety first. But what about actual benefits? Are they seeing any of those?
So far, there have been hints of some promising things, like maybe it can help with metabolism, and there's been some talk about cardiovascular function too, but...
It's still too soon to say for sure.
Yeah, exactly. We need bigger, longer studies to really know what's what.
And I'm guessing you're going to tell me that even if it works, NMN isn't a magic bullet. We can't just pop a pill and forget about everything else, right?
You know me too well. Look, a healthy lifestyle, it's still the most important thing. Exercise, good food, all that stuff. Supplements, they're just supplemental.
So where does this GenuinePurity stuff fit in? The liposomal NMN? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's the one. They're all about this liposomal delivery system. It's supposed to make it easier for your body to absorb, supposedly.
Liposomal? Sounds kind of sci-fi, doesn't it? Like it's going to beam the NMN straight into my cells or something.
Right. It's actually pretty cool how it works. They basically put the NMN inside these tiny fat molecules called liposomes.
Liposomes.
And those act like little protective bubbles, helping the NMN get past your digestive system and into your bloodstream.
So it's like giving the NMN a VIP pass to my cells.
Exactly. Though whether that actually translates to bigger benefits, well, the jury's still out on that one.
So where does this leave us? Someone's listening to this, right? And they're thinking, okay, interesting, but is this something I should try?
Well, it's definitely promising, all this research on NMN. But I'm always going to say it's not an excuse to ditch the healthy habits,
Right. Still got to eat your veggies, get that exercise.
Exactly. That's the foundation. But if someone's doing all that and they're curious about NMN...
Then what? What's the next step?
Do your research. Don't just take a company's word for it. Look for independent studies. See what the scientists are saying.
And talk to your doctor.
Absolutely. They can tell you if it's even right for you, if there might be any risks based on your health history, all that.
Because everyone's different. What works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly. And that's the thing about science. It's always evolving. What we think is true today might change tomorrow.
So stay informed, stay curious, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's the best advice I can give.
Well, that's our deep dive on NMN and the search for that elusive fountain of youth, or at least a way to keep our spark plugs firing a little longer. Until next time, everyone, stay curious.